Hey everybody, have you heard? Mom's gonna buy you Mockingbird. And if that Mockingbird don't sing, Mom's gonna buy you diamond ring. Okay, ladies and gents, this is crazy, you know. The whole thing is just out of control. It's a mental health emergency, baby. Now, I know, like, everybody's wondering, probably, at least I'm wondering, whatever happened to the people who swore up and down the Trump won. Now, I know they moved districts around or something. I don't know the whole story. They don't tell the whole story, but I think you get the picture that people are just wondering, like, what the truth is sometimes. But things are the way they are, and I accept that. I'm just saying that we should accept the truth, too. And if the truth is that the election was changed, I mean, who would, I mean, because, like, the popular vote versus who won and who lost doesn't matter anymore. But what does matter is, you know, making sure that people are not as confused as I am. I mean, I'm not totally confused. I think, you know, I have my opinions on things. That doesn't make it real or not real. I mean, everybody has their opinion. I think that I wonder if Trump's going to come back in another 4 years. Some say he will, some say he won't, some say it doesn't matter. I just find it fascinating to know, but I guess we'll know when the time is right. I just feel for all those people who are concerned, who, like, I mean, you know, like, what do they call them? Not the instigator, because no one was instigating anything. It was these people that swore under the oath of, what was it called? That swore under oath that what they saw and heard happened. And what they saw and heard could cause something to happen. I don't know what happened to those people, and they're not talked about. So I guess it's like silence. Silence is golden. Just kind of wonder, like, what is that called? The release. What is it called? It's a fictional character, but what is it called? The Kraken. The Kraken. Yeah, release the Kraken. I think that the Kraken has been released, but I don't know what that means. I guess I'm hoping that my movie one day will be made. I think it's important. Yeah, it's about mental health, and yeah, I know people love mental health. They love to have good mental health. You know, maybe we're all a little touched by the germ. Maybe that's what Congress and all of them are afraid of. That they realize that the germ has caused mental illness. Now, mental illness doesn't mean you're going to do anything wrong, because most of the time, when somebody has mental illness, it's usually they take it out on themselves. I mean, there's a very few out of all the mentally ill out there. I mean, I think there's like 1 out of every 4 people have, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, you, 1, 2, 3, 4, you, and you added it up, that'd be a lot of people in the United States having mental illnesses in a general sense. And not all these people are dangerous, or worth to themselves, to anybody. So, being that that's the normal mental health situation, and with the increased pressures why is there more mental illnesses? Is there more people? Is it because the stress level's gone too high? Or is it because of the germ or the bacteria, whatever it is, the germ, the influencer, the thing that caused not as much death as it did people getting sick? Did a lot of these people that get sick, did they come down with a disease? I'm not talking, yeah, they came down with the disease and they got better. They're not going to die of the disease, but it could affect them psychologically. And I don't mean just the stress. I mean, yes, the stress is the catalyst that brought it over the edge, but it was the chemical reaction in the brain that got off. So when the stress got too high, they couldn't deal with the stress. Not because it was just a lot of stress, which there was, but the extra stress wouldn't have caused the mental illness without affecting the chemical balance of the brain. That's all I'm saying. Like, if a person's balance is perfect, I think a perfect balanced brain nobody has. So there's a lot of mental illness going around, and a lot of people trying to hurt themselves. Even people that you wouldn't think had any mental illness at all. So what I'm saying is, if this is all true and the chemicals in the brain are off, then we have something to be concerned. I'm not worried about it because, I have a mental illness, but I would say that it's something that we should, the movie's going to look into. Because I think it's important to look at all the different factors of this bacteria, in the movie at least, that caused an imbalance. The germ, it didn't take as much life as was expected from something that's supposedly so dangerous. I mean, we did well. I mean, but there's a lot of people that are acting strange. Now, the Democrats obviously will say the Republicans are acting crazy, and the Republicans are going to say the Democrats have always been crazy. And so we have to come to the conclusion, just because you have a mental illness doesn't mean you're insane. It just means that you need help. So, are people getting the help they need? Is the Kraken broke? I mean, the Kraken is still, we have people under oath saying things that, I don't know what happened to that. I guess it got put in the incinerary of the furnace of, doesn't matter now. They kind of stepped back, but they didn't do anything wrong. So they were just telling the truth the way they saw it in reality. Quantum physics would explain that a particle could be in two places at the same time, but when you look at it, it's only in one place. You might say, well, that's physics. It doesn't have to do with, because like some things in society, are bigger than something so small like a particle. Because really we're not made up of particles, we're made up of, what do they call it? Waves. Waves that create up quarks and down quarks and neutrons and electrons and protons and all this good stuff. And a magnetic pole. And everybody's wondering what dark energy is. And I think dark energy is the closest thing that we can come to understand time. Because without the fourth dimension, you don't have space. You can't have space without the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is movement. Without movement, there's no space. There's no space to have a movement. With no movement and no space, there's no matter. So the matter was different. Perhaps matter was made up of time or energy. The energy created the strings, which caused the vibrations of particles, or something like that. There's something I'm missing there, but there's a double standard of particle waves. Particle wave versus a string vibration. There's a difference there. It's hard to explain out loud. I can't really think of the right words, except they're different. One is like a musical note, and the other one's like the whole infrastructure of time. I believe time is a creative force. I believe it in due time, things get better. Yeah, it has ups and downs, because I think, okay, take gravity. Gravity is, let's see, gravity is in mass, like a mass particle, or it's like and it causes, yeah, because they're trying to say that Einstein's theory might be off a little bit in the big picture of things. So I understand. So putting all these theories and mathematical understanding together. If the purest form of time is dark energy, that would explain why it goes faster than light, and that would also show why what are those things called? The entanglement of these two particles that are like, one's here on Earth and one's like somewhere on another planet. Like, let's say Pluto would be instantaneous communication. What would cause that? Perhaps string theory might play along with that. I don't know. The vibrations, I don't know. How does it? Well, we know that dark energy is faster than the speed of light, because it's stretching the universe. The only way you could do that is to be at the ends of the universe, and light isn't way out there. It's like the opposite of gravity. Gravity pulls on light, slows it down. Probably gravity slows down a little bit of time. Enough time would have to slow down for particles to be created. So when time and then space and then the matter is pulling back, that would be gravity, which is the weakest force, even though we feel it's pretty strong because we're stuck on the planet. So the planet we must be real close to the planet for it to affect us as much as it does. But if dark energy is so powerful, why doesn't you feel it go through you? Maybe because it's moving so fast. I kind of wonder if dark energy is like winning the fight of gravitation and magneticity, or other forces of energy. Time is the catalyst, I believe, of energy, whether it be magnetic energy or gravitational or even electricity, like lightning. It's like lightning, like thunder. The way she loves me is right. It's all a matter of time. So the movie must go on. Reality is real. Thank God for real reality. And physics. If, well, I guess we'll just leave it at that for now. But I just wanted to share a little bit about my movie, about how time, space, matter. Is that the right order? Is that the right order? Time? Because if time was a dimension, it would unfold space. You know, if time was the fourth dimension, it would unfold the other dimensions of space. So in that sense, what we know as space, or we understand is like everywhere there's this space. But the space we're inside, we're kind of like inside, we're like the box, inside the box. And without matter, and if nothing was looking at matter, or would matter exist? Can matter exist without something looking at it? That's a good question, because like, if there's no people around, nobody looking at anything, like before humans existed, it could look at anything. What was looking at particles to make, or looking at the waves that particles make? To make particles create matter. Why was matter here if nothing was looking at it? So you could say that something was reflecting itself, a being, maybe God, whatever, something that could see, could comprehend matter. That would put matter together. So, kind of like a watchful eye on matter. Or would matter exist? Because we say, in science terms, if nothing's looking at an atom or a particle, it's at two places at the same time, and nothing really forms, right? I'm not sure. That puzzles me. I have to think about it. But the thing is, if nothing, okay, we know there's these different types of matter that came to be when the universe was invisible. The only way I can see that is like I was confused when I was a kid. I thought it's matter was unattainable because you had to see it to believe it. Anyway, if you love the Lord with all your heart, mind, soul, and everything, would that make God exist, at least in your own mind? Or does God exist because he was looking at you in some odd way, cause some kind of matter, like magnetic or translusive reality of seeing something that caused a reaction in time and in space and then cause matter to exist. And all the living creatures and the angels with eyes all around was saying, hey, look, I'm an angel with eyes all around. I'm an alien with eyes all around. Everywhere in his body, eyes everywhere. Creating the beginning. His eyes were in front and in back and on the sides. And if that alien or angel, if you would, wasn't looking all around, wasn't this creature that had eyes all around, in front of him, back of him, on both sides, how could anything exist without this creature with... I made a painting once of an angel. I called it, it was an angel in heaven, and he had eyes all around him. It was just an angel. He wasn't God or anything. He was just an angel. Then I pictured him in my picture. He had eyes all over him. He was hairy, I guess, but he had eyes all around. You can't really see the hair because it was an abstract picture of something. I couldn't... It was like a abstract painting. I call it the angel with eyes all around. You should check it out. I sold it to someone for a couple $100. It's probably worth a lot more than that. I think it cost me that much just to make it. It was a big painting. Check it out. It's a cool stone, brother. Check it out now. It's cool because we have eyes all around, and this angel that's by the throne or something, by some kind of throne. He's not sitting down, that's obvious. He's just kind of looking all around, causing things that weren't, that was, that could be. It was in Revelation somewhere. It was an angel with eyes all around. And I knew that there are angels all around. Let us praise Jesus now, 'cause I know that there are angels all around. You really should check this thing out, though. It's just, it got like the fluffy wings, fluffy hair. You can't really tell it's an angel. It's just, but it has like this red, white, and blue eyes. Maybe it's an American angel, I don't know. But it was interesting, nonetheless. It's a very interesting painting. Hopefully some of my paintings will be in the movie, I don't know. I made quite a bit of them, hundreds, not thousands of paintings in my lifetime. Remember, God is good, but are we? I think just to get that out, we can say, okay, God's good, and they meditate. How about you? Have you been good? Be good. I mean, can you be good? So, I don't know. Yeah, I think so. So, maybe we just have to take it one step at a time before we realize that time, if space was created, you could say time as we know it was created or developed or came from someplace. And that would explain matter, why matter wasn't always the way it is now. Because if time wasn't the way it is now, I mean, not that the mathematics changed. I mean, mathematics, but, things change. But it doesn't mean that what's here now wasn't always here. It was just in a different form. I mean, if the universe was like formless and became formed, that's a difference. Form and non-formed. It was energy, now it's matter. It's still energy. It's just in a different state. You have to admit that the earth wasn't here at one time. The sun wasn't here at one time. And you go back, say what wasn't and which is now. You could say the space as we know it wasn't here. You could say that time, as we know it, wasn't here because there wasn't any space to put time in. There was no fourth dimension. There was no fourth dimension. How could there be three? How could there be two? How could there be one? If there's not one dimension and everything was zero, how did we go forward? By a push of a look.